So we've created our volume studies and made our roofs. My roof has kind of a hip roof, pyramid shape over the loft area, and then a shed roof that's going to be covering the lower part of the first floor. And you'll see in the floor plan that this part here is going to be open to the loft space. So I'm really working with two floor plans. Most of you are only working with one, but I'm going to show it for two. I have also grouped my roofs and I've grouped my loft space and my first floor, and I've put them on tags. This is really important because we're going to be actually using the shapes that we created as the basis for our floor plan. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to redraw the perimeter and use that as the basis of my floor plan. This bottom layer is grouped, and I'm just double checking to make sure it goes into edit mode. So that way I actually know that that's the case. This footprint is exactly the same for both of my floors. I'm going to start by making and selecting the rectangle tool. I'm just going to go from one corner and draw a line to another corner. Now, it might not be obvious right away that this is a filled shape, and I'm going to double click it. Now, you might not see, you can see it better here. You can see that it's only selecting the surface and the perimeter lines of that shape, and that's exactly what I want it to do. So what I'm going to do now is I'm still going to hold on to that, but I'm going to grab the move tool and I'm just going to move that away and put it maybe temporarily over here. We don't know where it is in space, so that's a little bit of a problem, but we're going to use inference ring, and we're just going to make sure that it is flat on the surface there. Now I'm going to move it into position in my first floor. So I'm just going to go like this, and I'm going to zoom in, and I'm going to position that as closely as I can to where I think my perimeter is. It looks pretty good. I can double check the measurements if you want to with the dimensions tool. So this should be 14. Yep, it is. And I believe this should be 26. And it is. So we know that what we've drawn in our volume study is right. Sometimes things can get messed up, especially if you're taking a picture of something, but this looks pretty good. And then because I have the second floor plan here, I am going to go ahead and drag a copy of this and place it over the second floor, just for now. You want to get the selection tool, triple click, and then use the move tool and select the corner and hold the option key down to pull a copy. And I'm going to do sort of the same thing that I did on the first floor with the second floor. And so now I have the beginnings of the perimeter of my floor plan. So before I do anything else, I'm going to turn on X-ray mode. But something to remember about X-ray mode is that these floor plans are not grouped yet, but that's okay because we actually don't want them to be grouped, because when we're in edit mode, the X-ray mode doesn't work so well when you have the floor plan underneath it. Let me show you where X-ray mode is, and you go up to view, go to face style and click X-ray. And now it makes everything in your model X-ray, but what you'll notice is that you can actually see right through to your floor plan, which is really good because we're going to need to be able to see through it to see where we're going to be placing our windows, our doors, and also our interior and exterior doors. I'm going to go ahead right now and I'm going to make my exterior walls first because it's actually really easy. I'm going to take the offset tool, which is underneath the follow me tool right here. It looks like it has like kind of whiskers coming out of the arrow. I'm going to mouse over the edge of the perimeter of the floor plan. And when I get the red square, I'm going to click, and then I'm just going to pull in. And I'm going to type in, I'm going to let go, I'm not going to click again, and I'm going to type 6 inches for our exterior wall. Now, if I'm really slick, SketchUp will remember certain things. So if I can get it to glom on here, all I have to do is double click and it'll do the exact same thing. Now, it doesn't always work like that 100% of the time, but just as an example, it's a nice thing to be able to know. So next, I'm going to go in and I'm going to make the openings where my windows and door exterior openings are going to be. The best way to do this is use a combination of your pencil tool and your measuring tape tool. Remember that measuring tapes tools and protractor tools do not affect geometry. Anything you do with these two are not going to cut anything. It's not going to give you a variety of shapes. It won't affect anything. If you use the pencil tool, it will cut things. So what I like to do is I like to come over to the window. Now I know that this is a 3-foot window because that's what I picked in my floor plan. I'm just going to draw a straight line. You can see it's snapping to the green, and I'm going to make that my starting point. And now I'm going to come in with my tape measure tool, and you need to zoom in so that you can kind of get the middle or the red square. That way you always know you're pulling. I'm going to pull a guideline, and I'm going to type in 3 feet. Now that may be a little shorter than I imagined, but you know, that's what it says. That is 3 feet. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to draw a line here for the window. And I'm going to do the same thing here. This is where I'm going to start my window, and now I'm going to draw a guideline. Again, zooming in here, getting that red square, and I'm going to type in 3 feet. Remember, feet is only a apostrophe. And then I'm going to go in and I'm going to draw that across. And if everything is aligned, it is snapping where you want it to snap to. So you can see that maybe my scaling is a little bit off, but remember that I do know that this line or this wall is 26 feet, and it is 26 feet when I measured it. So I'm just going to keep going here and doing the outside windows, and then I'm going to do the interior walls. A little hint is if you want the tape measure tool, just click the T key. So I have all my exterior windows and doors put in. So I'm going to take a moment and I'm just going to erase all of these guidelines with my eraser tool and just get them out of the way. Because now I need to come in and put in my walls. So really there aren't a whole lot of walls here except for this right here, and there's a little opening here, but we're just going to leave it as a solid wall right now. A wall here, and then a little L wall separating the kitchen from the bathroom. And the process is the same. Pull a guideline, drop it to where you think it should be. Our interior walls are 4.5 inches thick. So you're going to type 4 space and then the fraction 1/2 and then quotes for inches. Four space 1/2 quotes for inches. And now I'm just going to draw these in. I'm using inferencing to make sure that these are on the top. I'm going to leave this open right now to here because this is actually going to be a freestanding wall that will be part of the staircase. And I may have to extend it over here a little bit, but I'm not sure yet. Remember, if you need to get out of a tool, you can click Escape. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to erase the guidelines again. Then I'm going to do the same thing to my loft space as well. If I turn off the x-ray, I can now see where my windows and my doors are. I forgot to draw a line right there. So I'm going to fix that, and we're going to take a look at what you're going to do next in the next video.